I gave Grandpa 100 billion ghost coins. Grandpa sent me a courier from hell. At this moment I am holding the express delivery. My hands shook and I almost threw the box out. I was confused when I looked at the shining words on the box. I licked my dry lips. Said to Sister New, give me another look. I'm short-sighted and can't see clearly. Mrs. New looked at it curiously. Tell me just your name. Open it and take a look. Take the box and shake it. Just listen to a slight clang sound from inside. I hesitated for a while before taking it apart. There is an old thread-bound book. Written in official script on the blue cover. Black font ritual outline. Plus a copper bell the size of a baby's fist. The sound came from him. Sister-in-law New saw nothing strange. I want to take out the book. I didn't expect that as soon as I met. He shrank back as if he'd been electrocuted. But I was stunned. I just heard a familiar voice coming into my ears. Dear grandson. Grandpa finally contacted you. Come home quickly. Grandpa has something to tell you. Don't scare the calf. I swallowed unconsciously. Holding the box in hand, he ran towards his house. Just come in and close the door. The familiar voice came to Xiaofan again. Grandpa misses you. At the same time, there is also an illusory figure. Floated out of the bell. It's Grandpa Yang Jianye. I subconsciously took a step back and said, Grandpa. My throat was dry. Is that you? Is this your ghost? Grandpa Yang Jianye stroked his beard. He smiled heartily and said, can it still be false? Don't be afraid. This is the Dharmakaya that Grandpa condensed with his spiritual consciousness. I calmed down. Although the so-called Dharmakaya in front of me is very kind. And kind. But I'm still afraid. My voice was slightly hoarse with a vibrato and I said, Grandpa. Are you looking for me? Grandpa's eyes widened and he said, let's burn paper for Grandpa. The old man pulled you up. You brat, you don't want to fulfill your filial piety. You want me to come to you personally. I trembled my lips and said, never be sure of your filial piety. I even burned a lot of paper money for you. During Qingming festival. I'll burn it for you as much as you want. Grandpa immediately said with a look of disgust. That it was useless. I can't accept the ordinary roasted pharaoh. At this time, I watched my grandpa's shadow gradually fade. Grandpa quickly said that the time has come, long story short. Hurry up and burn the paper for me. Burn according to the method in the sacrificial outline. Don't make a mistake. And that leader is a good baby called Yin Yang Ling. Able to communicate yin and yang. You don't have any power now. So you can't use it for the time being. When you have the magic power, we can keep in touch frequently. There are methods for cultivating mana at the back of the book. I will send you something again. In addition, it is taboo for yin and yang to come into contact with each other. So your luck may not be very good recently, so be careful. Once you have the mana, you can offset it. Grandpa just finished speaking. The Dharmakaya completely disappeared. Only one copper bell is left, giving off a flickering light. I breathed a huge sigh of relief. Sitting on the chair for a long time. Only then gradually accepted the reality. Afterwards, I hurriedly picked up the ancient book Compendium of Sacrifice, and looked through it. In addition to the originally recorded content, there are also some instructions that Grandpa later wrote. It turns out that Grandpa has attracted some wild ghosts. In the underworld, more commerce is king. But still weak. Ups and downs. Until now, I can't even get enough to eat with the brats under my command. I pursed my lips and thought about it for a while. Then didn't think about it anymore. The top priority is to spend money. To help Grandpa tide over the difficulties. I checked the calendar online. Found out that tomorrow's an auspicious day. And the correct ritual is to burn paper. Time is also important. I'm going to do it while it's still early. Buy all the relevant things first. Soon I borrowed a motorcycle from Mrs. New. Then we came to a large funeral shop in the town. As soon as I entered the door, I saw various wreaths and paper. Villas, luxury cars, beauties, mobile phones, etc. Giving people a dazzling feeling. I walked around and saw no one. Then he shouted to the innermost door, "Is the boss there?" The woman who suddenly emerged from under the counter, holding paper in hand, gave me a shock. Then I was stunned. The thoughts I have about my ex-girlfriend disappear in an instant. This is a guy who should be about the same age as me. The tall one is over 1.7 meters tall. It's Fendai's exquisite facial features, perfectly matched with a pair of peach blossom eyes. The one she is holding is a charming beauty, especially her, wearing a plain white pleated short-sleeved shirt. The whole person exudes a simple and earthly temperament. Jongyu smiled at me, who was looking at her in a daze. Said he needed to buy something. I'm a little embarrassed. He coughed and took out a piece of paper from his pocket. Incense candle, paper, money, cinnabar, writing brush. Can you help me see if you have all of these? Jongyu took the paper and looked at it. A look of surprise flashed in his eyes. He raised his head and faced me again for 3 seconds and said, I will get it for you. Pick good stuff. Jongyu took the bag and asked if it was used to worship ancestors. I answered yes. No further explanation. Pointing at a pile of 100 million clear banknotes. He said proudly, give me 10 bundles of this. Jongyu blinked her bright eyes. His face looks a little weird, are you sure? 100 sheets in a bundle. 10 bundles are equivalent to 100 billion. I noticed his expression. He looked confused and said, why is this so expensive? Jongyu replied with a smile, that's not the case. 50 bundles per bundle. All made of fine paper. I suddenly became more confident. He said with a nonchalant look, then take 10 bundles. Grandpa is short of money. So of course he has to burn more if it is not enough. Pack a hard item and scan the QR code to check out. I was thinking about how to ask for the other person's contact information. However, Jongyu took the mobile phone and took the initiative to see the handsome guy. Chat. I suddenly had a dull expression on my face. This is really true. Out of my expectation. Although I am handsome. It's also worthy of the protagonist's sense of substitution in the novel, but I was stunned by the fairy-like beauty in front of me. Still feel flattered. I did not hesitate to call up the QR code and scan it for her. Jongyu stretched out her slender white hands. I controlled my excitement and shook my hand gently. Close at the touch of a button. More than half an hour later, I'm riding a little electric donkey on the mountain road. My mood is as exciting as a jumping electric donkey. There was a bang. The tire of the mule burst. It just happened to press against a raised head. Suddenly electric cars took off. I also flew straight up and fell into the haystacks on the roadside. If you fall, a dog will eat shit. I turned over and got up. Far away, the tires of the fallen electric donkey are still spinning rapidly. Akun on the side was flapping his wings and jumping around. I thought about what my grandpa said about being dizzy lately. Looked around. Fortunately, no one saw it. Otherwise it would be really embarrassing. I quickly picked up the things and helped the little Edenki home. In the yard, I set up a stall with paper money on the 8 immortals table. We brought in well water and ground the cinnabar into red ink paper. Then compare the runes in the sacrificial outline. Use a brush to copy on white paper first. After more than half an hour, I felt a little crazy. Because I haven't even finished drawing a complete picture. I breathed out. It took more than an hour to be patient. Finally painted a picture. All I saw was the plain surface of the banknotes. A faint golden light suddenly appeared. It lasted for 3 seconds and then dimmed. I look at the glowing banknotes. I feel like I've come into contact with a new magical realm. I am looking forward to the cultivation of magic power. That my grandfather said more and more. The next morning I was holding a bamboo basket in my left hand. Go out with the rooster in your right hand. Soon we arrived at Grandpa Haushin's grave. Carefully cleaned up the weeds on the grave. Place the drawn rune paper money on the ground. Then light the incense candle and continue. I grabbed the rooster wings and bowed down to the grave 3 times. At the same time, I silently recite the book in my heart to offer sacrifices. Then the chicken was killed. The blood was dripped on the paper money. Complete a set of complex procedures. It's already 12 noon sharp. I knelt in front of the grave and lit the paper money, with runes on it. The heart speaks of wishes. I found. The smoke produced by burning paper, this time is different from before. It lasts all the way to the end of the high-altitude field of vision. Runes are vaguely wrapped around the smoke. Intertwined. Finally, an illusory figure appears in the freeze frame. Wearing the official uniform of a senior official. Wearing an ancient brocade robe, holding token. Speak out a long and accurate word. The voice echoes in my head. I thought to myself that this was obviously a success. It's just that I never expected to burn the third one. My knees started to tremble. The sun is shining brightly above our heads. The body feels cold and shivering. Wait until the third one is burned out. My whole body trembled, as if I was shaking. My eyelids are getting heavier and heavier, and I'm about to fall down. I feel like my body is going to be hollowed out. It's more empty than being rewarded 3 times a day. Finally, I took a deep breath to calm down. The man stood up and lifted the tribute boat, with his head facing forward, bent forward in 4 directions. After the 3 prayers, I forced myself to go home. Just fall on the bed and fall asleep. And in the underworld, Yang Jianye, wearing a moon-white cloak, stood with his head bowed. Bare mountains all around. Hundreds of ghost generals and yin soldiers are scattered around. All of them looked so hungry that their chests were pressed against their backs. A burly man. He stepped forward to ask with a worried look on his face, "Did the young master miss the time?" Just as Grandpa Yang Jianye was also muttering, "I wonder if something went wrong somewhere." Suddenly I throw my mind and look up at the sky. I saw only one piece of glittering paper money, floating slowly in this direction. The surrounding ghost generals and yin soldiers also noticed. Suddenly there was a commotion and everyone got up, showing ecstasy.